Hello everyone, welcome to the Tristar Gym channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to ground and pound. Okay, so when you're inside the guard, there's a lot of things to know about how to strike your opponent and making sure, most importantly, that you don't get hit with an up kick. Okay, that's the most dangerous consequence when we're talking about trading in the guard. Here we are. Here's the approach. Very important here. I'm leaning back, making sure that those up kicks cannot reach my face, and then I square up. Once I get close to my opponent, I want to square up. Okay, so let's look at the couple little quick little details here. Number one, my knee is always bent. The lead knee is always bent here like this. It's very important to keep your lead knee bent in case he kicks you here. You see he's throwing a kick right here. This forward kick, if he kicks my knee and my knee is bent, I'll be okay. But if my knee is straight, he'll be able to jar my knee and injure me. The other thing here is you want to keep your hand down and protect your groin. Even though groin attacks are illegal, he can kick you there by accident. Okay, so here you see my other hand is down. I want to reach for these ankles. I want to control these ankles as much as possible. If I control these ankles, I'm going to be able to have my way. Now notice my posture as well. I'm leaning away. This is very important that I'm leaning away here. And when you lean away, it's very important because this guy on the bottom can kick you. And if he hits you with an up kick, it's extremely dangerous. Okay, so on my approach here, once my lead knee here makes contact and I start to get really close, I'm gonna bring this foot around here and square up. Once I get to this point, it's gonna be time for me to get to work here, and I'm gonna be able to land a lot of strikes. So here we are. I'm gonna slide my foot around, and once I'm here, there it is. Look at my hip pressure here, real quick. Just drop this hip pressure forward. Drop that hip pressure forward. With your hips, you're able to control his legs. Okay, once I get in this position, my job now is to deflect his ankles in and out. Okay, so watch here. My hips are forward. He's not able to upkick me. You could see my right hand is controlling his ankle here. And this hand right here, you see his foot here that's on my hip? I got to get rid of that. I always want to have at least one of his feet under control. If both his feet are on my hips, it's going to be hard for me to attack him. I need to always take one foot off my hips at all times. Okay, so watch how I do that here. I'm either going to parry them to the inside or to the outside. So watch here. So I'm parrying this one to the inside. Okay, I'm deflecting his leg towards the inside in this direction here. And when I do that, I'm going to rotate my hips. When I rotate my hips, it's going to load this punch here. The rotation is going to help me deflect his foot and load my punch. And that's going to allow me to do two things at once. Set him up for a strike and generate power in my strike. Now, if you look here, this time, as soon as I landed the strike here, he put his feet back on my hips because he wants to push me away. Now my hands are going on the inside here, and they're going to push him towards the outside. I'm doing the same thing on this side as well. Hands go in, deflect his legs to the outside. When I deflect them to the outside, you're going to notice I'm going to rotate my hip again and load my punches. Always rotating the hips. Look at that hip rotation here. That's how I strip his feet off my hips and generate power. Real simple stuff. We're going to show another angle now real quick. This is what it should look like if you're on the bottom here. Okay, this is a very tough position to be in. Very hard to get out of. So always parrying the feet either inside, outside, always posturing when he tries to upkick me to the head, and then loading my strikes by pivoting my hips to the side right there. And that's going to help you generate twice as much power. Okay, now when you're doing some ground and pound, there's a few things your opponents are going to do. Okay, number one, they're going to go for a kick sweep. Okay, that's what we call the kick sweep. Now watch here, he's going to hook my leg. We're not covering the kick sweep. We'll see that in a little tutorials later on. He hooks the back of one leg. He comes and he puts his foot on my hip and he traps my leg right here. Okay, so these three things here, if he gets these three grips, he's gonna be able to just drop me down. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't allow my partner to do any kind of kick sweep passes. Kick sweep sweeps. Okay, so watch here, real simple. All you got to do is kick your foot to the ceiling. Okay, so watch here. We're gonna get another quick look at it here. I just kick my foot to the ceiling. The foot he's grabbing here, the lead leg, right as he grabs it. Let's see that again here. Right as he grabs it, I just kicked my foot to the ceiling. I was a little fast here. I'm going to rewind it. Okay, so the foot he grabbed, see he's grabbing me around here. There is nothing covering the top of my foot. So I'm going to kick right through that X. I'm going to kick towards the ceiling, and that's going to strip my foot. Once you strip your foot, immediately go to the ground and pound. When you immediately go back to the ground and pound, it is going to be very hard for him to follow up with another attack. Okay, so I'm immediately stripping my foot free and going right back to the ground and pound, deflecting those ankles and striking him. Now here, my opponent's in a different grip. Watch this. He's in a De La Riva hook. Okay, so the De La Riva hook now, okay, for the guys who don't know, you're just wrapping the leg as so, and you're grabbing the leg. So now I'm not able to kick. You see, remember that X we had here? There's no more X. I can't kick through the X because his thigh's in the way. So now I'm going to have to escape my leg in another direction. If you don't escape your leg, the guy on the bottom might be able to trip you up and sweep you, okay? So it's really important you got to strip your leg. I'm going to go into a limp leg here. Watch here. We're going to see a different angle of the limp leg right after this. But that's as simple as it gets, you know. You just turn your feet. Here's the other angle here. I'm going to turn this foot out in this direction. I'm going to turn this foot out in this direction. So my feet are going to be facing away from my opponent. But at all times, my torso is going to stay facing my opponent at all times. Okay, so your feet are facing one direction, your torso is facing another. Now watch here, when I limp leg, that X mark, the unprotected space is right here. I'm going to kick through that X, and that's going to free my foot. Okay, let's see. I kick my legs free, always facing my opponent here. If you don't face your opponent, we're going to see exactly what can happen to you. All right, just right here. If I kick, I turn my feet away and I expose my back. Look at my back is exposed here. This is really bad news. The guy on the bottom, if he knows what he's doing, he's going to come up and double leg me. We saw this happen against when Renzo fought Sakuraba. Renzo was on the bottom. He did a nice deep De La Riva hook to turn and expose Sakuraba's back. And then he was able to jump on his back from the down position here. So here's another example of doing it right. Okay, so watch. I'm kicking my legs free. My legs, you notice they're pointing in this direction. My face here is pointing, always looking at my opponent. My torso is facing my opponent here. This is really important. And now my opponent starts to get up slowly. As he gets up, watch here. I'm just going to stiff arm. Now there's 101 counters you can do to a guy who's trying to sit up. His weakness is that he's sitting on his butt. He's not on his feet, okay? He's not on his legs, so he cannot generate a lot of power. I'm just going to show you guys real quick a few things you can do. That's the teleport. You saw John Jones do that to Ryan Bader. Here's a snap down, very staple move, very important move. And all these moves deserve their own tutorial, okay? So I'm going to be doing different tutorials on all these moves in the future. So stay tuned for that. I'm not going to be covering them now because there's a lot of details to these moves, okay? And also, very importantly, when you limp leg, you want to do the knee slide. I did a knee slide tutorial already. I will add it in the description. Very important that everybody out there knows how to do a proper knee slide. Okay, guys? So that's the end of today's tutorial. Those basic techniques for ground and pound do go a very long way. Many fights have been won in this way. Many great careers have been built on the ground and pound. So I really recommend you work it. It's a very important part of martial arts. I want to thank you guys for all the support. We've been nearing 10,000 subscribers now. We're rounding off to 10,000 subscribers really soon, and it's only been a short 3 months of tutorials. My goal for 2015 is to hit 50,000, and I know with your guys' help and support, I'm going to be able to do that. And I really appreciate all the guys who are commenting, liking, and sharing. Thank you very much. Also, I wanted to add in a few shots of the all strike. A lot of people have been asking me, where did I get the all strike? How to use it. I'm going to be using it a lot. I bought my first one last year and I've been using it regularly ever since. I love this device. It helps improve accuracy. When you hit the all strike, it is exactly like hitting a real person. You know, it's totally different than hitting a mitt or a bag. For me, it's way better. It helps my accuracy, and it's zero impact for the guy who's hitting, or very low impact for the guy who's hitting and the guy who's holding. That's another reason why I like it very much. So I'll leave the website where I bought it in the description, and I'll try to post up a link as well. Thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. See you on the next one. Thank you.